Hi Armin, how you going? I'm doing a video to brief in some extra work and to just touch base with you to where we are up to. I can see that we've got a lot of locations done, which is amazing. Great job. Very happy. Been looking at the images that you've been doing, and the colours are really good. I don't really need to hold your hand on all of these. They're looking fantastic. So I can see that you're really paying attention and trying to do as good a job as you can. And that's the only way that images will look good, is if you give it your best for every single image. So well done. I have some extra things to brief in. Obviously these icons are not linked to the pages, and there's been a bit of back-end work and some decisions that have needed to be made to get it happening. And I would have liked to have briefed in, I would have liked to have duplicated the demo so that it was already done, but you needed to keep working, and I wasn't quite there, so I got you to work. But what we need to do now is the demo page. Basically, the page, the main marker and the satellites for one in each state has now been completed. I might as well show you. So we have on the demo page there is now one in each state. I think you did that, but what I've done is link them up now so that they actually tie in. So if I was to click this, it would load in the same page. So you can see that it's changing to Kakadu, and there's the name for Kakadu. What I'm doing is I'm going through the pages, is I'm taking out the -2. I'm basically the old page I'm putting in the trash, and that enables me to then change the link back to Kakadu, but I've still got those copies if I need to in the trash. So just go back. Because the admin bar's in there, these aren't lining up exactly, but they do. And if you were to click on the marker there, it goes to the page. And if you click on the image, it goes to the page. So that's done. And we'll use Cape Legrand as the example. So if I go in to this one at level 9, I think it is. We'll find out in a second. Zoom level 9, the satellites appear. And I wanted that to be specified because some areas cover a very wide area. Some markers, if we ever are lucky enough to do other countries like Italy or New Zealand, the areas are going to be much tighter. So I want the markers to appear at a more zoomed in level. But for Australia, 9 is pretty good. Now these markers, what they were going to do is if you click on it, it would load in the Cape Legrand page, which it'll do now, and then through what's called named anchors, go down to that exact scenic gem, but for a number of technical reasons, page load time, essential grid, not actually making itself the size that it is until it is ready to load in. So as you can, like the named anchor would have happened by now. Then this becomes bigger. So a named anchor would say go to here, and then all the essential grids would load in, and what would happen is the page would start pushing down like this. So it just doesn't work. So the short story is that the satellites are now needing to all do the same as the region marker, which is just load into the top of the page. So it's going to be the same URL. So going to the demo page, what we have is the marker link name. I'm just saying is the name that you'll find at the top of the page, so Cape Legrand with hyphens in it, and then the marker for the URL is the page. So it's pretty simple. And then yeah, that's that. That needs to be duplicated across I won't save this because I think something's moved. It's hanging on. Just trying to move the map. I'm just trying to zoom in, zoom out. So if we are to select another one, you can see that it's exactly the same. 10. Visibility zoom level is 10. So that's essentially what needs to happen. So you've done the demo map, and what I've done is I've moved these markers exactly where they need to be for the entire demo map. So all of these markers you need to see exactly where they are. If I can get you to basically mirror image the demo page, the markers, on your map page. So if I was to zoom in on these markers, Frenchman's Peak is on Frenchman's Peak, and the rule that I apply to these for the most part is that they are going on to the car park, where the car park, it's either the closest car at the car park or where the car park meets the trail. So if I go to satellite, you can see I've placed the marker right at the end of the car park where the trail starts. Or you could put it in the closest car spot if you knew where that was. This is for the demo. If you can get them to look exactly like the way that I've placed them, the way that you have been placing them is fine. Don't spend too much time on it, because you haven't been to the locations, and I know exactly where they are, and the way that you've been doing it is fine. But as I said, for the demo, if you can get them to look exactly the same as they do there, so that would be great. So that's essentially it for the markers. I think if you can duplicate that, I think, yeah, that's everything. If you've got any questions, just let me know. Now the other thing is I'll go to the Cape Legrand page. I'll just open it in a new tab just to make things easy for me. So what I'm going to do now is walk you through the See on Map buttons that are down the page. They are now all linked up on the demo page, and they need to be linked up on the map page now, respectively. So if I come down to Lucky Bay, oh sorry, I need to edit the page. Let's open that up. But no, I can talk about that. So the functionality is, so we don't want people losing their spot when they hit See on Map, go and look at the mark, and then come back to the page. So what I'm doing is loading this in as a blank, so a new tab. So this opens in a new tab, and the way that the functionality works, you can see that it's got Lucky Bay and zoom equals 17. So 17 is the level where all track info on Google Maps appears, and Lucky Bay is obviously the name of it, and it also takes into account the capitalization. It has to be exactly the same. So capital L, capital B. Now that's that. So how do we do that? So if we go to the page, come down to the first blue button, and then edit that, and then so you just need to grab one of these URLs whenever you're doing a new page to get the format, and spaces are %20, so that's how you put a space in. That's universal cross-browser support HTML markup for a space. So show marker, lucky, bay, and zoom equals 17. Just go across, zoom equals 17. And loading the page as a blank or a new tab. That's essentially what needs to happen for all of these Xeon maps all the way down the page. So, etc., etc. So that's what I've been doing on the demo page. So it all links up now. I'll let you work into your workflow however you want to do it. Whether you want to do it now, whether you want to do it later, that doesn't really bother me. Yeah, that doesn't bother me. So you do it however you want to do that. If you've got any questions, let me know. Otherwise, doing a fantastic job, really happy, and yeah, continue on. Thanks, Armin.